Admiral Zekthar of the Galactic Defense Coalition stared at the holographic display with 4 of his 6 eyes. The remaining 2 focused on the tactical readouts that made less sense with each passing moment. For 3,000 years, the Coalition had built what they considered the most impregnable defensive network in galactic history. Layer upon layer of protection surrounded the core worlds. Energy shields that could deflect stellar radiation, quantum barriers that prevented faster-than-light travel, automated defense platforms with AI systems that calculated every possible attack vector, and now, a single human fleet was systematically dismantling it all. "Status report," Zekthar commanded, his mandibles clicking with barely contained anxiety. Commander Velnai, a crystalline being whose body hummed with nervous energy, consulted her readings. "The humans have breached the outer perimeter. Somehow they've convinced our own defense platforms to fire on each other." "Convinced them?" Zekthar's feathered crest rose in alarm. "Our AIs are incorruptible. They've been tested against every known form of electronic warfare." "That's just it, sir. The humans aren't using electronic warfare, they're talking to them." On the main screen, Captain Sarah Chen's weathered face appeared via quantum transmission. Behind her, the bridge of the human vessel Unstoppable buzzed with activity. She wore no ceremonial uniform, carried no gleaming weapons, just a simple jumpsuit and a smile that somehow made Zekthar's exoskeleton crawl. "Admiral Zekthar," Chen said pleasantly, as if greeting an old friend rather than the architect of the galaxy's greatest fortress. "Beautiful defense network you've got here. Really impressive engineering." "Human," Zekthar growled, "you are trespassing in restricted space. Your species was warned to remain in your designated sector." Chen's smile widened. "Oh, we got the message. Thing is, we're really curious about what you're protecting so carefully out here. And you know what they say about curiosity." Before Zekthar could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the command center. The second defensive layer, a field of gravitational anomalies that should have crushed any approaching vessel, was fluctuating wildly. "Sir," Velnai's voice cracked with disbelief. They're surfing the gravity wells, using them as slingshots to accelerate their ships." Zekthar watched in horror as human vessels danced between gravitational fields that should have torn them apart, using the very forces meant to destroy them as a highway deeper into Coalition space. It was like watching someone juggle black holes. "How?" he whispered. On screen, Chen shrugged. "Physics is physics, Admiral. Just because something's dangerous doesn't mean it's not useful. Our kids learned to skateboard on half-pipes. Turns out the principle scales up pretty nicely." The third layer activated automatically, a maze of temporal distortions that trapped intruders in recursive time loops, forcing them to relive the same moments until their crews went insane or their ships ran out of power. It had never failed. Within minutes, human vessels were emerging from the far side of the maze. "Temporal analysis complete," Velnai reported, her crystalline structure flickering with stress patterns. "They mapped the entire maze in under 6 minutes and found the exit. Our most advanced computers take days to solve those patterns." Chen's image leaned forward conspiratorially. "Pattern recognition is kind of our thing. Plus, Jenkins here used to do escape rooms as a hobby. Same basic principle, just with more space-time." The fourth defense layer was pure energy, a barrier that converted any matter touching it into plasma. No known material could survive contact. The humans went straight through it. "Explain," Zekthar roared. "They're not trying to resist the energy conversion," Velnai said, her voice hollow with defeat. "They've somehow calculated the exact plasma state their ships need to be in to pass through, then reconstituted on the other side. It's impossible." "Impossible's just another word for haven't figured it out yet," Chen said cheerfully. "We've been turning impossible into inevitable since we figured out how to make fire underwater." The fifth layer was psychological warfare, a field that induced paralyzing fear in any sentient mind, showing them their deepest terrors made manifest. Every species had nightmares, every mind had breaking points. The human ships accelerated. Fear response analysis shows. Velnai paused, checking her instruments. No fear response at all. If anything, their crew efficiency has improved. Chen's grin was downright predatory now. Fear's just evolution's way of keeping us alive long enough to figure out how to kill whatever's trying to kill us. Thanks for the adrenaline boost. The final defense was the crown jewel of coalition engineering, a reality anchor that prevented any alteration of local spacetime. No teleportation, no dimensional shifting, no exotic physics, just hard, immutable reality. The human fleet simply stopped outside the field's range. For a moment, Zekthar allowed himself to hope. Perhaps even humans had limits. Then he noticed the shuttles. Hundreds of small craft launched from the human vessels, each one filled with a single occupant wearing what looked like primitive atmospheric suits. They drifted slowly toward the reality anchor's edge, seemingly helpless. "What are they doing?" Zekthar demanded. "Sir," Velnai's voice was barely a whisper, "they're going to walk through it. That's a 12,000-kilometer field of hardened space. It would take them years." Chen's image returned to the screen. "Admiral, meet Sergeant Rodriguez, 26 marathon runner, 3-time Ironman champion, and currently very bored." Rodriguez waved to the nice alien. A figure in an ancient pressure suit gave a casual salute before activating a small thruster pack and beginning a leisurely journey toward the inner system. "You see," Chen continued, "we tried building perfect defenses once too. Maginot Line, Great Wall of China, a bunch of others. Know what we learned? There's no such thing as an unbreakable defense. There's just defenses that haven't met the right kind of crazy yet." Within hours, human troops had landed on the Coalition's most protected world. They didn't come as conquerors but as tourists, taking pictures, asking directions, and politely requesting to speak with whoever was in charge about this whole misunderstanding. As Zekthar watched his life's work become humanity's afternoon adventure, he realized the terrible truth. The galaxy hadn't built its defenses too weak. It had built them too sensible. "Admiral," Chen said, her image now broadcasting from the Coalition's own capital, "we brought sandwiches. Want to talk?" Zekthar looked at his perfect defenses, then at the humans eating lunch in his supposedly impregnable fortress. "I'll get the coffee," he sighed.